degrees of culpability for killing someone. Culpability means legal liability, basically means guilt, or the amount of responsibility. The technical word is culpability. Culpability for a crime. The crime we're talking about is the ultimate crime. It's the crime of murder. Let's talk about what is murder and what is not murder in terms of the vocabulary words. In our review, what is homicide? Raise your hand, I'll call you. Alan, what is homicide?
Killing a person, human activity causes the death of another.
It is simply the death of someone caused by human activity. Someone dies due to human intervention. That's all it is. If you look at this, does this have, let's say, if you want to put it in English language words, the death of someone caused by human intervention or human activity? On its face, looking at the words, does this have a positive connotation, like something that the human is personally responsible? I'm sorry, I apologize. Does it have a connotation that the person who intervened or the person who did the activity is guilty, liable, evil, awful? Do these words have evil, awful, liable, responsible in the definition here? No. Human intervention, human activity. No. The denotation is?
Neutral.
Neutral. The denotation is neutral. So someone had a human activity and it caused somebody's death. We will get back to that when we compare this homicide with actual culpable acts. Starting here, we have culpability. These are now culpable. Starting with murder. Murder has 2 degrees. What is the key word that sets apart a first-degree murder?
Intent.
Intent, but what is the actual legal phrase?
Premeditation.
Premeditation. Premeditation, acting with intent. And the usual way you prove intent or premeditation is if somebody does what in terms of this murder? They plan it out. Usually it's planning. Planning is what, if you are planning a murder, which means you take active steps before you actually commit the murder. You buy rope. You get gasoline. You sharpen your knife. Any of those show the plan of setting the steps in motion, show intent. But planning is the usual way you can tell what is first-degree murder. How about second-degree murder?
Heat of passion.
It's a heat of passion is the common phrase associated with it. It's the heat of passion murder. Okay, what is the classic example of the heat of passion murders?
You find your wife in a bed with someone else.
You find your loved one in bed with another partner. You can write this down. It is a legal phrase. It is a Latin phrase. It is also a euphemism, meaning a polite substitute word for something that you don't usually say in polite company. A second-degree murder, heat of passion. The classic example is someone en flagrant delicto. In flagrant delicto, D-E-L, delicto. And this means flagrant is an English, this is a Latin phrase, but it comes from an English word. If you haven't written this down in your notes, please write this down now. Flagrant is a regular English word meaning obvious or flagrant. Obvious or a violation of some sort. Obvious or flaunting it, putting it out there, letting everybody see it. Something is flagrant. Hey, did you hear about that 24-year-old lady in, I think she was in Georgia? She was arrested for robbing jewelry stores. How many jewelry stores did she rob?
4.
6. What did she do to hide or disguise? What costume, what mask? What did she do?
She didn't wear anything.
Nothing. She went in her jogging outfit, robbed the store and left and waved to the cameras on the way out who took pictures constantly. They have like unbelievable number of photos of this young lady, and she had borrowed her father-in-law's car. Just borrowed the car for the day. Hey dad, hey stepdad or whatever, father-in-law, can I borrow your car? Sure, no problem. Took the car, drove to a jewelry store, robbed it, left. She was very flagrant about it. So flagrant just as a vocab word means obvious, upfront, flouting it. Delicto, what is the word in Spanish for crime? Crimen, right? Crimen? There's another word. Isn't there another word? Say the other word. Delito. Delito?
Yes.
All right, so delito comes from the Latin, means crime, in flagrant criminal activity. This is normally used when you catch your spouse in bed with another partner. They're in flagrant delicto. So if I come up and I find my spouse in bed with another partner, the normal common emotional response is what? What kind of anger?
Grab the lamp.
Grab the lamp anger.
Aggressive anger.
You grab the lamp and you start swinging. Got it? Did I have time to make an intent?
No.
Was this part of a plan?
No.
Do I even know this guy's name?
No.
Hopefully not, right? Manslaughter. 2 levels of manslaughter. Oh, it's not first degree, second degree, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's voluntary, sorry. It's voluntary and involuntary. Sorry, I got carried away. Voluntary. Pardon me while I move the table. There. Voluntary and involuntary. What is the definition of voluntary? Yes.
Doing activities that cause death.
Doing activities that are likely, that are obviously going to cause death. There's sort of a difference. But write this down. It's undertaking, which doing is fine. Undertaking activities likely to cause death. There is a phrase, and I might have misspoken it. What is the key phrase that goes with voluntary manslaughter?
Callous heart.
I know, but I misspoke that. It's callous, depraved heart. Write down depraved heart. I did say callous heart. They're called depraved heart murders. Your heart is so depraved that depraved heart because you have callous disregard. That's what I meant to say. A callous disregard for human life. What does callous mean?
Rough. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say the positive.
A depraved heart murder. What does depraved mean? Someone who's depraved.
Not getting enough attention.
No, that's deprived, perhaps. She said not getting enough attention. That's okay. That's deprived. Depraved means no morality, no morals, someone kind of wicked or evil, depraved. So a depraved heart is one way of looking at it, but that is different than a callous disregard. Okay, all of you farmers, all of you hobos, all of you people like me. I used to be a farmer. No, it was not. Recently, I did a lot of farm work.
Nice.
What happens to your hands? What does callous mean? That hard, rough skin, not soft, not tender. So callous means hard, kind of ugly, nothing soft, nothing tender. Callous disregard for human life. This one's kind of a moral standard, depraved. If you're depraved, that's like wicked. Callous disregard means you just don't care. You just don't care. Then what is involuntary manslaughter?
Ignored public safety.
Ignores public safety, yes. Ignores public safety. All right, so let's talk about some examples about this. I think we discussed some of this the other day, but let's just review it, and I'll add a few more. If someone takes out a gun and does shooting practice at the side of an abandoned building and kills somebody who's on the other side of the wall, a stranger, someone just standing there, doesn't matter what that person's doing, but...
Involuntary manslaughter.
Okay, wait. Shooting a gun. I heard involuntary manslaughter. Why is it involuntary manslaughter?
Because he was ignoring the safety and health rules.
Okay, is it ignoring health and safety rules to shoot on the side of a building?
Yes.
Okay, but watch this. Is it undertaking activities likely to cause death when you start shooting guns?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, write down. Anytime you shoot a gun, it's likely to be voluntary manslaughter. Please write that down in your notes. Shooting a gun is likely to be voluntary because why? Shooting a gun is likely to cause death. If you shoot a gun and someone dies, you have a lot of trouble saying, well, it was just a little public safety. Wrong. Because of the high expectation, or the high possibility of death by firearms. So it doesn't matter when you're shooting a gun, you're at least likely to face that. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not saying you'll definitely get charged with voluntary manslaughter, but you're at risk of voluntary. Because what is more callous disregard to human life than shooting off a gun into a building where obviously the bullets are going to go through the wall and they're going to come out the other side? Isn't that the definition of callous disregard?
Yes.
I would think it is. What about drunk driving? Where does if you're drunk, if you're intoxicated behind the wheel and you cause somebody's death, where would that go? Because callous disregard for human life. And is drunk driving likely to cause death? I mean, at least increases the chance. Now, is there an argument that drunk driving should be involuntary? Yeah, there's an argument that, hey, look, it's just a public safety measure. Drunk driving is not likely to cause death because, hey, I've done it hundreds of times before. And by the way, statistics show if you are arrested for the average person, not you. The average person arrested for drunk driving has driven intoxicated 200 times before. It just didn't get caught. Well, if you think about it, what are the odds? Zephyr, I've never had a drink before. It's my first night ever. I had no, what are the odds? That's a true story. Not very high. Actually, the guy is very high, but the story is not likely to be true. All right. What if I am at a party? Who's over 18?
I am.
Are you over 18?
I'm 18.
Well, I mean, wait, okay, for real? Come on.
Yeah, I'm 18.
Could you be in the YouTube video?
Oh, I don't want to.
Oh, no. Who's over 18 wants to be in the YouTube video? I don't know why. You. That's okay. That's right. Nobody? No problem. That's okay. That's okay. No problem.
Okay, wait. Are you going to use me as a nickname?
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to fall off?
No, I want you to die.
Okay, I'm dying.
Really,
Really, Jeffrey?
Okay, who else? Who else is over 18? Who wants to be in the video? Quickly. Come on.
Alan, you're the youngest in this class.
Camera boy.
Okay, this is you stand right here.
Okay.
Okay, here's the scene, folks. We're at a big swanky party. Where swanky means fancy, swanky. We're at a fancy party. There's a huge pool behind here. This is an acquaintance of mine. Don't know her very well. This is a friend of mine over here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to watch, okay, watch this. I think I did this the other day too, but maybe not. Watch this. There's a pool. This will be fun. Boom! She falls into the pool, whatever that means. She falls in the pool. I did not know that she has a fear of water, she can't swim, and she's subject to panic attacks. I push her as a joke Watch this, this will be funny. Push her as a joke into the pool. And she drowns.
Killed
She
her.
drowns. So, Alan, at a minimum, what did I just do?
Involuntary.
No, at a minimum.
Homicide.
At a minimum, it was a homicide. Alan, why was it a homicide?
Because it was human intervention.
This hand caused her death, right?
Yeah.
It was first degree, wasn't it first degree because it's premeditation.
Well, wait. Watch this. Premeditation intent. No problem. Premeditation intent. I'm sorry, what was there a conclusion?
It's intent to kill.
It's intent to kill. Did I intend to kill her?
No.
How do you know that? Because I told my new BFF Sarah over here. What did I say to her?
Watch, this will be funny.
This will be fun. I'm gonna kill her. No, I didn't. This will be fun. I thought it was just gonna be a few kicks, right?
So what if you push her and she bumps into her? Was she still?
Well, then we could go into that scenario in a second. That's fine. So, real quick, I push her. I thought it'd be fun. At a minimum, it's a homicide. Did I intend to kill her?
No.
Was I mad or angry or any reason? Is this normally, pushing someone in a pool normally cause death?
No.
Is it safe to push people fully clothed without taking them in the pool?
No.
So where do you think this falls? Which kind of manslaughter?
Involuntary.
It's an involuntary manslaughter. It's an involuntary manslaughter. Okay, what if I say, you know what? She's made me mad. I'm so mad at her, and I know she hates water. I know she hates water, she can't swim. Watch this. This will teach her a lesson. Boom! Just lean back. Ugh. Okay, I know she can't swim. This will teach her a lesson. This will let me get even with her. Watch what happens. I'm mad at her. Does that change this at all?
Yes. It's first degree.
Well,
Wouldn't it be second degree?
heat of passion has to be. Arrgh!
Oh,
Heat of passion has to be passion. However, I know she couldn't swim. I was mad at her. I wanted to get even with her. Is it still involuntary or does it go somewhere else?
Murder. It's just murder in general.
Did I expect to kill her?
No.
You push someone in the pool, even if you know they can't swim, do you expect to
So
kill
would
them?
it be voluntary?
Yeah.
It's voluntary, most likely. Because what is it? It's a
Depraved heart.
It's depraved heart. Watch this. I know she can't swim. I'm going to mess with her. I'm depraved enough just to throw her in the water. Did I expect her to die?
No.
Did I want her to die?
No.
But it's depraved heart because I know she can't swim.
Oh, you're evil.
Well, evil, yes.
what if you hide her?
Excuse me?
What happens when you hide people, like after you kill them?
Oh, then that's
You asked too many questions for
No, that's a good question.
no. If you kill somebody and after the fact you hide them, that doesn't go to. This is all before you murder them, before you kill them. Afterwards, it goes to your degree of moral turpitude. It might go to your sins, but it doesn't affect these. It doesn't. If you have someone help you, the person who helps you is liable for aiding and abetting a crime. The person who helps you. But if you do it on yourself, it just makes your sentence worse. This is all before the murder. After the murder is not touched by this. Although it does go to the totality of the circumstances. The review of the circumstances. All right, so now watch this. Stand up, please. Okay, I'm a waiter holding a tray of drinks. And I'm walking over here. You're going to call me to ask for a drink. Oh, okay, hold on. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. And you fall in the water.
Oh.
Now, how come she fell in the water? Because I just bumped her by?
Accident.
Because she called me over and I was going this way and I got confused and now I come over here. Oh, she fell in the water. I had no idea. I didn't know.
Homicide.
That it's a homicide, but it's not. It's just an accident.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about the chloroform incident, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's review this. Okay. Acquaintance of mine in law school was up before the morals committee because he was a drug dealer in college. Great profession, right? Put that on his resume. Entrepreneur. Drug dealer in college. who was dealing in drugs, and some sort of bad drug deal came down. He couldn't get his drugs back, and he couldn't get paid his money. So to teach the guy a lesson, he just wanted to get the guy's attention, teach him a lesson, and get back his money or his drugs, one or the other. What did this guy do? This is years before he went to law school. He did what?
He put chloroform on a napkin and put it in his face.
Put chloroform on a rag, actually.
Oh, right.
Put chloroform on a rag. Is that okay? Yeah.
Sure.
And then, you mother, you'll never do this to me again. This will teach you a lesson. When you wake up, I want either the drugs or the money. Got it? With the chloroform. And the poor victim is like, and died. And the guy must have been freaking out when his this drug pimp or whatever the deal is turns blue and buys the farm. So if you chloroform someone to get back at them, don't worry about the drug part, all of that. Once again, the drug part goes to the totality of the circumstances in evaluating the crime, does not affect culpability for the murder itself. Because that's just based on the murder facts, or the homicide facts that we decide are culpable. What would the guy who does the chloroform of the other guy, what is the guy with the chloroform, what is he guilty of? Involuntary ignores public safety. Let's try voluntary. Watch this. Is it a depraved heart to put chloroform, try to get someone to pass out?
Yes.
Callous disregard for human life?
Yes.
Because chloroform is what? How would you describe chloroform?
It's a non-chemical.
It's a known chemical that does what? Deprives you of
Oxygen.
and forces you to,
Pass out.
and only usually done under the supervision of a
Doctor.
medical doctor would use something like chloroform, right? But if you start using chloroform,
You messed up.
so what degree of culpability is it?
Voluntary
It's
manslaughter.
voluntary. It's clearly voluntary. You cannot say, "Oh, I just thought it was I didn't really know." Okay, let's compare the difference between voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary manslaughter is likely to be drunk driving, right?
Yes.
At least the prosecutor has the ability to charge you with voluntary because it's a depraved heart, callous disregard, undertaking likely to cause death. So the prosecutor can charge you with voluntary. They may choose not to. What if you cause an accident because your lights had failed 2 weeks before and you had gotten a fix-it ticket?
That would be involuntary.
Right? You got a fix-it ticket, but you never got them fixed. And so you're driving at night without, and the reason I give you the ticket was that everyone knows you had this problem. You can't claim it just happened, or the driver can't claim, I didn't know it. No, the driver got a fix-it ticket 2 weeks ago and was too lazy to fix it. So that without the headlights, driver's driving at night, doesn't see the guy crossing the street or the girl crossing the street or the bicyclist crossing the street, hits the bicyclist or the guy or the girl, causes their death. What can that person be charged with? Arguably involuntary. Public safety issue. Ignored public safety.
What if you didn't have the ticket?
Well, the reason for the ticket is it just clarifies the evidence. It just proves that you didn't have your lights and you knew about it and you didn't fix it. Because a person who's a driver could say, my lights just failed just now. I had no choice. If they just failed a half hour ago and I was driving to a parts store to get a new headlight, then, maybe he's off the hook, right? Because it just happened. You got to give him a reasonable amount of time to get a new headlight, right? An hour? How about 2 weeks?
No.
See, 2 weeks, Oh, by the way, you asked the question before about back to the swimming pool thing. Okay, guy at the swimming pool. You asked a question about this. Guy at the swimming pool turns to his friend, says, watch this, I'm going to have some fun, and hits Samantha, right? But Samantha doesn't fall in the pond or the pool, but Samantha collides into somebody else. Samantha jostles somebody else. And that other person falls in the pool and drowns. I intended to have Samantha go into the pool, right? Is it reasonable that Samantha would get wobbly and reach out and grab somebody?
Yes.
And that person might get wobbly and fall in? It's called transfer intent. So whatever I intended to do to Sam gets transferred to the next person. And that would, whatever degree of culpability I have with Sam, I would have with that person. It just got transferred to the next victim. Any questions about that? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Round of applause for all our presenters. Please.
Roger that. 10-4. We're out.